I do remember that day was really, really focused on getting the truck back. And then I was also talking to my family, but because of the chaos of the situation, we didn't, borders were closed. There was no flights, and my family, I guess, was trying to figure out ways to get to me. Part of my family was in Toronto, well, actually in Port Hope, which is about 60 miles east of Toronto. My mother was actually still at the cottage where we had just been vacationing. So my brother was also in Montreal. He was going to school there at the time. So they all wound up driving and crossing the border. I do remember, I have this really distinct memory of my father parking and walking out to greet him on the lawn of our house, and he is not an emotional man, and he just came and gave me this big hug, and that was really that's a really powerful memory. And he came obviously with my stepmother, and my mother-in-law, Erin's mother, drove with him because she also lives in Port Hope. My mom and my brother drove down as well. So I kind of suddenly had this house full of people, and it was surreal for me to have all of my parents in one house together. That was something that really hadn't happened since Erin and I had gotten married, and I was, under normal circumstances, would have been just freaking out about it. But because I was in this really bizarre emotional state where, I guess in shock, you just sort of detach. It was almost like I was just detached from myself. And it was almost like I was watching this whole scene going on around me, but not really participating, just sort of going, wow, that's unusual. That would have freaked you out before all of this. That would have been bizarre. You would have just been losing your mind.